All right. Well, welcome everybody. I hope everybody's having a good evening. We're going to go ahead and get started with our session in just a few minutes. I know everybody's getting home from school, getting home from work. So we're going to give you guys about 5 more minutes to log on so that we can make sure that everybody gets all the information that you need. My name is Ms. Condezo. I'm the Director of Admissions. Most of you already have seen me in interviews or in school visits or on the open house videos, but we'll get started in just a few minutes. This is going to be an exciting session. We have a lot to cover in this session, so we're really excited. Going to do a few plugs for our events coming up. If you don't know yet or have not signed up yet, we have our Spring Sports Open House this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Great chance to meet and greet with some of our amazing coaching staff, our student athletes, get to know some of your potential teammates for next year. So that's really great. Also, if you've already been accepted to Archbishop Carroll, we have our Accepted Students Night on Friday, April 22nd from 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. I don't want to give too much away, but there's talks of a food truck, there's talks about games, giveaways, lots of fun things. So also getting a chance to have a picture with your future principal and of course our Carroll Lion. Lots of fun things, and it's an event for your whole family. So definitely put that on your calendar. There's a registration link on our weekly newsletter. Speaking of which, if you are still not receiving the weekly admissions newsletter, please let us know. Drop your name in the chat, send us an email, give us a call tomorrow during business hours. We'd love to help get you on that list. Para todas las familias que hablan español, ya todos los documentos están traducidos, entonces por favor, siéntese libre para llamar, hacer preguntas o cheque los flyers que le vamos a mandar en el newsletter. So we're just going to give it a few more minutes here. So thank you all for your patience. Yeah, want to make sure the maximum amount of people are benefiting from this workshop. Don't want to leave anybody out. So we'll give a few more minutes and then we'll go ahead and start. Once again, if you have any questions, we will be having a live Q&A session. So please drop your questions in the chat and we'll answer them at the end of the session. I'm sure you'll probably have more questions towards the end once you get all the information, but friendly reminder that that's where you go to ask the question. Of course, if you're watching this after the live stream, this is being posted afterwards for access to all our new families later on. So feel free to reach out to the admissions office or Mr. Scott after the broadcast with any follow-up questions you may have. The contact information for the Office of Student Life will be posted on, will be shown in the video. So I think, let's take a look. Let's wait one more minute. Hopefully we can get a few more families and students online. This one's really for the students. So we hope that you guys are logged on. Once again, congratulations to our newly accepted Lions. We are so happy to have you as part of our pride. Also, have you completed your enrollment? Enrollment is the next step. the next step into fully becoming a Carol Lion. So if you haven't already done so, the deadline to enroll is next Thursday. It's exactly 1 week from today. It's April 14th. So make sure that you log on. There's an enrollment fee that you'll need to take care of. That's for all Carol students, but once you're one and done, we'll get you onboarded and we'll be ready to go. Lots of important information going out to prospective Lions in the next couple of weeks. All right, so the time is now 6:07. Got a couple more people watching, so let's go ahead and start the session. I'm sure more families will trickle in. So today's Future Lion workshop is on the Office of Student Life. The director, the head of the department is our VP of Student Affairs, Mr. Scott. And Mr. Scott will be going over a variety of topics, lots of topics that families have had questions about. So this presentation is really catered to the questions that you have. So without further ado, it is my great pleasure to introduce Mr. Scott. Take it away, Mr. Scott.
Thank you, Ms. Condoza. I'm going to share my screen now. All right. Good evening again, everybody. My name is Mr. DeHaven Scott, Assistant Principal for Student Life here at Archbishop Curl, and I am extremely happy that you guys are on tonight to share a little bit from our department. And congratulations again to your acceptance here at Archbishop Curl. I already know that you guys are going to enjoy being Curl Lion. And I'm excited again to just share all this wealth, I'm going to say, of information that you guys are going to hear tonight. So take some notes. And again, as Ms. Cadezo said earlier, there will be a chance that you guys could answer some live questions at the end, okay? So I want to start with our mission here at Archbishop Curl. Well, our office, the Office of Student Life. The Office for Student Life is committed to the mission of Archbishop Curl High School by facilitating processes which provide students with support to empower student success. The office provides students with strategies to make positive choices and opportunities for open communication to address students' needs. And I believe that we do that very well here at Archbishop Curl. Really, this department is really to help you guys really get plugged in to the life here at Archbishop Curl. And we want to make sure that you do have a safe and productive and supporting learning environment in order to do that, okay? So a little bit more about our department. Our department, we are staffed of 3, of course, myself, Assistant Principal for Student Life. We have Yolanda Chandler McCoy. She is the Student Life Coordinator and our attendance support. We will talk about attendance a little later in the presentation. Then we have Mr. Dante Wright Nelson. He is the Office of Student Life support staff. So in our upcoming school year 22-23, the Office of Student Life, we have some initiatives that we're going to, you guys will be participating in and be a part of. And the first thing is community building. We want you guys to, when you enter Archbishop Curl, we want you to, you are now a part of this community. And so you will be involved in some activities to help continue to build our community, and you'll be a part of that. Also, one of our focuses, we help support teachers to establish healthy classroom management systems. So you will see within your classrooms some specific tools that will help really keep the management of the classroom going. so that you guys will be able to learn effectively once you're in the classroom. So we do help teachers to support them with establishing healthy classroom management. And also one of our initiatives in this upcoming school year, we are building a road to a restorative school. So you say, Mr. Scott, what is a restorative school? Well, I'm glad that you asked. A restorative school is that we really practice on meeting the needs of students when it comes to things challenges that students may have between their peers, or they may have challenges between teachers. We want to take an approach that will kind of take away a lot of the punitive things, but more of a restorative. So bringing your peers together, maybe at a circle, being able to talk, being able to set some time to speak with your teachers. So we want to really build on that, and this is one of our initiatives that we're going to really be moving into in our next school year. And then finally, one of our initiatives, our last initiatives, is parent and family and community partnerships. So parents, those who are on the line, we really want you to partner with Archbishop Curl. I know a lot of our parents that have gifts and talents. You bring your energy and your passion. Your students are already are here now. They are accepted here. So we want you are also accepted. And so we want you to be a part of this community, partner with us. Again, bring your gifts and talents. We want to use you. We want you to be here. We want you to be a part. We want to see your faces, especially during this time. I know we've kind of been behind masks and everything, but we really want to see your faces. We really want you to partner and link up with us. So how do you reach us or the expectations for communication with the Office of Student Life? So our office, we definitely, if you send us emails, we would definitely communicate with you back in a timely manner. I say between 24 and 48 hours, you will hear something back from our office. If it's an emergency, if you will, you definitely could contact the front office, and they will know how to reach me via my phone or the radio that I use currently throughout the school day. If there are student concerns, you can contact, have an email right here at the office of studentlife@achs.org. And then you will look out for regular updates regarding attendance, uniforms, events, clubs, and after-school activities. Your emails will probably be flooded, parents, with just tons of updates, because we have a lot that happens here at Curl, a lot of activities, a lot of events. Ms. Condezo spoke earlier about an event that we are having this coming Saturday. So we want you guys to check your emails regularly. Even the students that are on, this is something that is going to become second nature when you come to Archbishop Curl. I will always send out email communication. Again, via email, you will always get updates. Now we are going to hop into attendance here at Archbishop Curl. Attendance is very critical. It's very important, and stress attendance because if you're not here, you're not going to be able to learn. And to be a part of this community, we need you here, and you have to be on time. So I am going to go over a little bit of what to look for when you arrive to school, the times and the things of that nature. I'm going to kind of get into that. So let's start with our daily attendance. Students will enter the building through our student lobby to be logged in and receive a temperature check. So we still do temperature checks because of COVID. We do have COVID procedures that we still follow. Some of them have been lifted a little, but one of them that we still currently do, we do a COVID screening. We use what's called Magnus Health Portal. And it's literally just an app, and you do a screening before you come to school. And it will give you a red to stop if you're not feeling sick or if you've been exposed to someone with COVID-19, or it will give you a green go that you are clear to come to school. So we will talk a little bit more about that also later on. Students are expected to arrive on campus before 7:55 a.m. and at that time, the warning bell will ring and students should report directly to their first block. We do have a lot of students who come early. You know, we have some parents who do come from a further distance. But we don't actually let students in the building until about 7:15, 7:20. So that's when we kind of start checking in, but they do need to be here by 7:55. And that's when we start letting students, once they enter, they go to their lockers, and then they go into the cafeteria. In the cafeteria at 7:15, 7:55, we release them up to their first block. Any students arriving at school after 8:00 a.m. is considered tardy. Attendance will be taken by the attendance officer, which is Ms. McCoy, or I mentioned earlier, by the end of the first block class to identify students who are tardy and absent to school. So again, you're going to hear me stress doing these attendance slides, as attendance is important. I think I probably should have put a slide by itself that says attendance is very important. We want you to be here and need you to be here as well. Students arriving to school after 8:45 will enter the building again through the student lobby entrance. After 8:45 a.m., we'll enter the building through the main entrance. So if you do arrive after 8:45, you will have to come through the front entrance, not the student entrance. The student lobby entrance will be locked at that time. So you still will be able to get your temperature checked and everything at the front if you come after 8:45. Students will sign in and receive a thermal temperature check by the supervisory staff, that's our security team. All students must wear a mask or face covering to enter the building and maintain a social distancing of at least 6 feet. So we have actually just recently, we have a mask option policy now. So if you decide that you still feel comfortable wearing a mask, parents, you want your students to wear their masks, they are still allowed to mask, but we are currently mask optional at this time. All right, let's talk about unexcused tardies and absences. Any student arriving late to school or absent from school that is deemed avoidable or discretionary in nature is considered unexcused. The Office of Student Life Coordinator reserves the right to ask for a note from the doctor's office or a notice from a court or funeral home. So if you are tardy, just let us know. Students also get in the habit because you are now, you're in high school, so we're going to be expecting more of you. So get in the habit again with the email. You can shoot an email you can actually shoot an email directly to myself and CC our attendance office, which is attendance@achsdc.org. Just let us know that you'll be arriving late or you have a tardy. And so if it's something that you had a doctor's, you had an appointment, we just ask you to provide that documentation. So we will have that on a file and that will be excused. Students unexcused tardy to school 3 times during a quarter without proper documentation and or explanation will receive an administrative L.O.P. Now you say, Mr. Scott, what is L.O.P.? I will talk a little bit more about that in our slides coming up, but just real short, L.O.P L.O.P is our after-school detention. It's called loss of privilege. So you will hear that kind of throughout my slides, but we're not going to talk about that because none of you guys are going to have L.O.P because I want you guys to be here on time. And a notice will be sent home if, again, you have three unexcused tardies. Once a student reaches for a tardy violation in a quarter, he or she will be placed on an attendance probation. So we do have attendance probation, and will be required to an administrative, again, L.O.P for the remainder of the quarter. So again, attendance is important and being on time is important, and I know that you guys are going to do that. Just a little bit more about what attendance probation is. Attendance probation is imposed on a student who does not comply with the school's policies on attendance. Probation is given for the period of 1 academic year. Students will not be permitted to complete any missed assignments for grade given during an unexcused tardy / absence. So again, attendance is important. Being on time is important. I'm going to read these last couple of bullet points. Again, this is about unexcused tardies and absence. And this is after the first block, and this is very important. Any students that arrive to class late without a pass will be given an unexcused tardy. So even if you're coming to school late and is after the first block, we just don't want you to walk in. Make sure you just see the front office just to get a pass, so the teachers know that yes, first that you were late, but you do have a pass. So we want to make sure that we stay out of after school detention, or what we call it here at Archbishop Carroll is L.O.P, which again stands for loss of privileges. And we don't want you guys to have any loss of privileges because we have some exciting things coming up in the slides. So I want you guys to be able to see that, and I want you to be able to experience all that, okay? For each unexcused tardy to class after 3 per quarter will result again in the administrative L.O.P. Students will not be permitted to complete any missed assignments. So again, attendance is important. So we talked about attendance probation and what that can look like. I just want to kind of highlight a couple of things on this slide. A probation is given for the period of 1 academic year, which I stated earlier. And at the end of the quarter, the student progress will be reviewed. So you say, if I get on attendance probation, can I get off? Yes, I wanted to highlight that. Yes, you definitely can get off because we will review it again and see how you have been doing since being on an attendance probation. The student's attendance will be closely monitored on a weekly basis if you are on an attendance or probation. The student life coordinator will meet with the student as needed to determine the student's progress. Okay, again, attendance is very important and we want you to be here and want you to be on time. All right, so let's get into our uniforms. We are a uniform school. And so we expect all of our students to be in full uniform. So we do have a spring uniform and a fall uniform. So I do have some pictures and I will share with you in a minute. So the uniform pieces are to be purchased from Flint O'Hara. And so we have Flint O'Hara has several of locations, and I will send a sheet with Ms. Bezos so she can send to your parents with those particular locations. But I know a couple of them off the top of my head. One is in Lanham, one is in Rockville, and I do believe one is in Glen Burnie. Okay, so the other ones, I think there are 3 other locations. So if you're nearby, they do have a website. You can go on their website, Flint O'Hara. You can also order, like I said, online as well.
I just dropped the website in the chat for everybody watching.
Thank you. So with our uniforms, both girls and boys, shoes should be either all black or all brown. So we do have, you see on the screen, you're familiar with Sperry's. They are boat shoes, Mary Jane's for the young ladies, the ones with the Velcro. I know they high school, but if you want those, they have tie up. So any black or brown. You may ask, do they have to be dress shoes? No, not in particular, but we just want them all black. So that's black soles. If it's a black shoe, black soles. If it's a brown shoe, all brown. Okay. So here's just a couple of pictures so you could kind of have in mind what our uniform look like. So for the girls, this is our fall again / spring uniform. We are currently still in our fall uniform that we wear. The young ladies wear an Oxford white shirt and a curl sweater. And they can either wear the pants that you see on the screen or the skirt that you see. So that's what we are currently in right now. So after we come back from Easter break, we will be in our spring uniform, which is just, again, the skirt or the pants and our polo shirt. Okay, so these are just a couple of items more from our spring uniform. So you can see the Mary Jane style shoe is the one with the Velcro on. Then you also had a tie up as well. I see a loafer on here. And this is what we are looking for our scholars to have once they come in. So this is for the girls. Next screen is the boys. Same thing right now. We're in our fall uniforms. I don't have the sweaters up here, but they do have sweaters that you can purchase as well. And they are wearing the long sleeve Oxford shirt, white Oxford shirt. And then when they come back from spring after Easter break, they will be in their polos, their curl polos. So I'll just leave this up for just a little bit, just so you can see. Yes, and we also, I do want to stress for our young men that you will have to wear a belt with your pants. So again, this is a black or brown belt. Really doesn't matter, but you do need to have a belt on. Right. All right, let's talk about the fun stuff. Fun stuff. So again, the Office of Student Life. Again, we want to plug you guys in right when you walk into the doors of Archbishop Curl to get active in clubs and activities. Some of you may want to start a club, and I'm going to tell you how to do all of that. So this office, again, really supports all of those efforts. So field trips, major school events, clubs and activities, Spirit Week, and our Spirit Week and our homecoming normally is on the first or second week of October. So we do have a Spirit Week, and what we like to do, we send out a Google form to our students to kind of get there to see what you guys would like to see for your Spirit Week. So believe it or not, this is my first year here. We had a Spirit Week, this past last year, October rather. With some interesting days that we have. So, but this is your time to really get plugged in and just really have a good time, enjoy yourself here at Archbishop Curl. All right, so I talked about a little bit about the clubs. So these are some of the clubs that we have currently right now. So we have Penn Ministry, we have the Latin dance. We have a dance team, Emerald Illusions. We have a chess club, lacrosse. We have a Latin dance team, STEM Nation Metal Lines, and our engineering club. I have chess up there twice. We love chess. Peer tutoring program, student ambassadors, and our student government association. So again, if you want to start a club, something that you see that's up here like, oh man, I I have some interest in this. I'm going to show you actually how to do that if you want to start a club. So procedures to begin to start a new club. So I will read this. Applications for new clubs/activities are available to any student interested in creating a new club. All applicants for a new club activity must be completed and submitted to the assistant principal of student life for review at least 6 to 8 weeks prior to the proposed start date. So that really kind of gives you time to flesh out what you really want to do, what you really want to see. Okay, you want to start, maybe you want to start I don't know, building apps. Well, that's part of our engineering club, but you may want to do something with apps, something different. That'll give you some time to kind of flush out and kind of put your thoughts on paper, get with those who are interested in the same thing, so we can have time to get that up and running for you, okay? Next important thing to start in the club, a ACHS faculty staff member or a non-ACHS staff Verdict trained adult must agree to be the moderator. So we said, what is a moderator? Moderator is someone who's going to lead that particular club or activity that you want to start. Sure, he must attend all officer and general membership meetings and activities. Initial student membership of 10 is required. So you need at least 10 other peers of yours that are going to be interested in doing the same thing that you want to do. Okay, at least 10. Students must indicate the willingness to regularly attend club activities and meetings. So what we don't want to happen is for you guys to, for you to start a club that you really, really want to do, and it has a low attendance. And because if you want to start it, you have to really be, active. So we don't want you to start anything that you really don't want to do, or you won't be committed to it. So if you want to start it, really got to be committed to it, really got to be dedicated to it, so it can continue and improve, and it can take on legs of itself and really be really successful. So keep that in mind. A new club activity must be approved by both the principal and the assistant principal for student life. So both, again, I think that's self-explanatory. So it does have to be approved by myself and Principal Gill. All right, getting near to the end of our presentation. This is our code of conduct. I will be talking a little bit about how we handle discipline, what to look for when it comes to discipline. And this goes to our restorative piece. So this is why we want to build a more restorative school, because we want our students to be able to do something different around discipline. We don't always want to jump to a suspension, although we do have suspensions in place and we have expulsions in place, but we don't want to major on those, only minor on them. But we want you guys to know what we do in the event if discipline becomes an issue. So discipline is one of the most valuable lessons offered through education. While it does not constitute a subject, it underlines the whole educational structure. I'm going to stop right there because it's very important. If discipline becomes a very big issue, it's going to be hard for you to learn. And we don't want you to have anything that may hinder your learning here at Archbishop Curl. I'm going to jump down to the next paragraph. Our core belief at Archbishop Curl High School is to know, love, and serve. Our students are expected to be aware and respect the rights and feelings of others. This is the basis for all conduct. Archbishop Curl High School students must conform to all regulations which are devised for the overall development of each student, spiritually, academically, and socially. In the classroom, students will not be allowed to interfere with the privileges of other students to learn. So that's what I said earlier at the top of this slide, is that anyone who imposes or hinders what goes on in the classroom is a disciplinary problem, and we don't want that. So we want to make sure if those, excuse me, get some water real quick. If those things happen, we do have things in place to support the students in those efforts to get them back on track. And unfortunately, sometimes back on track may constitute in a suspension, and it may just constitute in us having one of our restorative sessions, sitting down with the student or sitting down with the teacher and student to try to come to a consensus of what happened, what took place, and how we're going to be able to work and walk that out. Our office also, we I'm gonna say partner with, or yes, I say partner with our campus ministry, and also with our counseling department. So they work really close with my department when it comes to the restorative piece. So when we don't move to suspensions, we do partner with both campus ministry and our counseling department to see how they can best also support the students when they having difficulties. Actions that threaten or cause harm to other students or staff members disrupt or impede the benefit and progress of the school community. So again, we do not tolerate any threats, or we don't tolerate fighting, we don't tolerate bullying. All of it is addressed. We actually have what's called a life form. It's actually our referral form that our teachers use if they have to write up a student. And the reason why we call it life form, because we are trying to do the reverse. We want to, speak life into the students. Yes, students may get off at times or make bad judgments or make bad decisions, but our life form kind of walks the teachers through a series of steps before they get sent to my office. So that may look like a part of that life form is they are communicating with the student, trying to figure out what the problem may be. They revisit the student's issue to see if they can be able to talk it out. That may also be a phone call home to the parent to kind of discuss what may happen in the classroom on that day that caused a disruption in the classroom. And then it may be another follow-up with the student. And once those 4 things are addressed with the student, then if it's not resolved, then they get recommended to my office. Then that's when the next step may be an after-school detention. That's the L.O.P, a loss of privileges. That could look like that. Depending on what the infraction is, it could also be a suspension. Again, it just depends. Okay, so. But like I told you earlier, we are monitoring on those things, but we're going to major in making sure that you guys are on the right track and give you support to make sure that you stay on the right track. All right, so I talked about L.O.P earlier and what loss of privileges, but I want to kind of go a little bit more deeper so you guys could know exactly what it is. L.O.P is a term given to our schools form of detention. So I said that earlier. So faculty, staff, and administrators may give a student L.O.P for behavior which contradicts the expectations and policies of the school. So who can give a L.O.P? Any faculty member, any staff or administrator can give you a L.O.P. So again, it just depends on the infraction, what that may look like. We will make sure that the parent is also aware that the student will be receiving the L.O.P. once that L.O.P. is given. I'm going to jump down to the teacher L.O.P. Teacher L.O.P. can be assigned to students who engage in behavior that compromises their own learning or the learning of others. Students will be assigned a teacher L.O.P. at the discretion of the individual classroom teacher at the time and location determined by the teacher. Okay, so again, teachers can also assign you an L.O.P. And I do want to say this as well. We give students, they have twice, we have our L.O.Ps on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So if you're no show for your scheduled L.O.P, you do have one more time to make it up. If you don't make that one up, you will have to serve a Saturday detention. A Saturday detention, which is normally from 8:30 to 12. So we don't want to see you at a Saturday detention, and we don't want to see you at a just regular after school detention as well. So it's very critical that you guys, when you come finally step foot in the building, when you hit the ground running, that you are just completely focused on just your work. Again, we want you to have a great time. It's no doubt that you're going to have a great time here. We want you, but you still want you to be mindful of behavior issues that can arise and things that can happen, consequences to those behavior issues. One thing I did not put in the slide too, we're going to be updating in our student parent handbook is a cyberbullying policy. We currently monitor all social media. So my team and I, we monitor Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, especially TikTok, believe it or not. So I do have accounts, different accounts that our students do follow. They don't know who it is though. Who am I? But we do monitor those sites, and just to make sure. And we have actually been successful this year, and because we monitor those sites, and then we have, again, partner with you guys, our families, kind of send us things, information. We have stopped some things from happening. We were able to, bring some of our scholars to the table before things happen. And again, we're in this social media age, and we know bullying is a real thing, and so we don't tolerate any of that. And so that's why we do our due diligence to make sure that we do monitor those sites on a daily basis, and it's something that is communicated to our students every day to let them know that this is something that we are actively doing. So again, I end the slide with our code of conduct because I wanted to save that for last, because I wanted you guys to have as much information as possible on how we are going to support you to get connected into and immersed into Archbishop Curl, so that you can have a very great, successful time here. And whatever I can do to support you in those efforts, families, whatever I can do to support you in those efforts, I will do so. I'm very personable. You can call me, believe it or not, I do give my families my cell phone number, my Google Voice number, because I'm barely in my office, but that's fine, because I want you guys to be accessible to me at all times if you need me. Okay, so that is my presentation for tonight. Thank you. I know we have some questions, Q&A, that we are going to hop into now.
Thank you so much, Mr. Scott. That was a lot of information, but it was a lot of really good information. If you wouldn't mind just clicking back to the slide with the contact information for the Office of Student Life, just so we can have that up while we go through some of the questions. No one has dropped a question yet, but this has been super informative. Once again, this video will be posted on the school YouTube page. So if you didn't get a chance to catch the whole thing tonight, feel free to swipe through the presentation at another time. Let's see, I'm trying to think of some of the questions that were not addressed in the presentation, but you did a great job, Mr. Scott. I think this has
Thank you. I
been
appreciate it.
super informative.
Thank
I think that our future Lions are, you know, ready to hit the ground running, be all in for our community. I love the part about how to create your own club. We had a lot of our accepted students who were really interested in starting their own thing. I think I heard anime club. I think I heard cooking club. So, and I know there's faculty who would definitely be willing to jump on those to moderate it. So, yeah. So yeah, so we're just gonna wait a few minutes. If anyone wants to drop a question in the chat. For those who don't know, or who were not told during their interviews, when you are, in order to join us in the fall, all new students have to attend Lions Academy. Lions Academy is a summer camp or a summer bridge program, where new students will be brought to campus for 2 weeks. We'll have 2 different sessions, each are 2 weeks long, and you'll learn everything about Carroll climate, Carroll culture, rules, your teachers, classes. You'll work with your guidance counselor to solidify all of that. But you will have to be in full uniform. So if you are enrolled, which I highly suggest that everybody do as soon as possible because the deadline is in a week, go hop onto Flynn O'Hara, take a drive to their many locations. Everything's available online, but it's also nice to try things on. Personally, I like to try things on. So, buy maybe a size up because again, your freshmen will be no longer freshmen very soon. So you want to make sure that you're buying, these uniforms to last a little bit. But take a drive, hit up Flynn O'Hara and purchase your uniforms because they will sell out. So we don't, and they must have the uniform to be in class, to be in Lions Academy. So we don't want anyone missing out on Lions Academy just because you didn't get your uniform in time. So Flynn O'Hara is definitely the place to be for that. I think that's the only thing in regards to Lions Academy. Let me see what else. There's not a lot of questions in the chat. But if you have something specific that you would like to ask Mr. Scott, again, the contact information is there on the screen. We'll give it another couple minutes to see if anybody has any questions about clubs, conduct, uniforms, anything at all. I personally love Spirit Week here at Archbishop Carroll. It's such a great experience. All the kids get involved, and really you get in. The more you get involved, the more fun you have. So highly encourage all our freshmen to go all out, especially on the class color days. I think those are a lot of fun. It's a lot of there's a lot of red, there's a lot of blue, which is for our seniors and our juniors, but we need more orange. Orange is our freshman color, and we need more orange. So start thinking about that. Oh, we have a question, the dates for Lions Academy. Yes, we do. Give me 1 second. Mr. Scott, do you happen to have that information?
Should have. But I don't have it readily right now.
I do. So great question, Ms. Smith. What's it called? So the first Lions Academy session is going to be June 20th to July 1st. And the second Lions Academy session will be from July 11th to July 22nd. So that's two 2-week sessions. we are going to be sending an email out to just the enrolled students so that you can go ahead and pick which session you prefer to attend. Obviously, sessions will be filled on a first come, first served basis. So if you are not enrolled, another incentive to enroll. I know the parent who just sent the message is already enrolled. Thank you so much. So you'll be getting that link to pick your Lions Academy date before the end of the week, so tomorrow. So thank you. That's a good question. Let's see, what else? I'm trying to think what else parents have been calling about. We will be, our next info sessions, we're trying to make the next info session for OSP family. So if you are an OSP family, it will be a mandatory session. So definitely keep tuned to that. We also had some interest in having a special athletics only session. There was some interest in having an engineering session. So we'll definitely keep you guys posted. But the big thing, Accepted Students Night. Accepted Students Night is April 22nd. The link to register will be in the weekly newsletter. It was already in our reminder for all the events we have coming up. So make sure that you sign up. We want to see you there. We want to see your families. It's going to be a lot of fun. Just meet and greet, nice way to cap off a long week. So, come enjoy some food, some fun, some fellowship. It's going to be great. Let's see. Okay, we got people jumping in and out. I don't know if it's the same people. I don't know if it's new people. But again, if you missed anything, you can always watch the saved video once it's posted on our school YouTube page. It's really great. And if there's something that we didn't answer, feel free to reach out to our admissions office or Mr. Scott directly in the Office of Student of Life. Mr. Scott, do you have the Office of Student Life email in your slideshow?
I don't, but I can give it to you right now.
Sure. What is it one more time for our families?
It's Student Life. Oh, I do have it in my slideshow, but it's studentlife@achsdc.org.
And I just dropped it in the chat. So if anybody wants to copy that down, again, the chat will be available on the, oh, I'm sorry. I just put Student Life. It's Office of Student Life.
All right.
Apologies, everybody. Disregard that first one. So definitely reach out. Mr. Scott and his team are great. Everybody's coming out of a pandemic. Students are having a good time, having a rough time, everywhere in between, and we're here to support all of you. So, and the best way to do that is to be all in. We can help support you. The more we get to know you, the more we know when you're having a bad day, when you're having a good day, and we want to be here for you. So, the time is now 6:55. There's no other questions. So I think we're gonna wrap up for this evening. Mr. Scott, you can stop sharing your screen, but thank you all for being with us this evening. It has been a true pleasure to be able to share all of this information with you. Mr. Scott, thank you so much for being here, staying late to give all this information to our new families. I'm sure they really appreciate it too, so that we can hit the ground running when they come here.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. All right, everyone, have a great night. Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.